Yeah.
Sure.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Tom Stewart here. I'm with Liz Trotter, and we have a bunch of guests today. We have Heather Canning, Patricia Corpus Myers, and RJ Patel. Whew, and this is Smart Business Moves.
Crazy, y'all. Heather, what is that little symbol that you have? Is it Amazon symbol next to your name?
It's a smiley face.
Oh, it is? Like a crooked side, smiley face, maybe?
Yeah,
Is that
the
right?
eyes
Or
are
one
on
eye?
one side.
It's
Well,
winking.
it's special.
It's
It's
one
a
eye.
special.
It's one eye.
No, it's actually two. And if
Wink.
anybody knows me, like I overuse like exclamation marks like all the time. Like any sentence that I write, it's like 6 exclamation marks. So somebody showed me this little smiley face. So it's my little trick.
It's your new thing to use
Mhm.
instead of exclamation points. All right.
So I'm
Didn't somebody
Apple.
tell you about that one
what?
time? Somebody told you, why
Yeah.
are you using so many explanation points?
I did. Oh, by the way, here's your rate increase. Sorry about that. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark. And the woman goes, just to let you know that you need to get rid of those. I'm like, duly noted. Thank you.
I was taught that you can't use more than 2. Not to say I can't break some rules, because I do. I give 3 routinely. But yeah, 2 is supposed to be the
And it
max.
goes beyond exclamation points.
Yeah, now it's like you're yelling at them after that.
Oh.
Well, I
Hey,
think
Dawn.
it's because I'm so loud in person. Like everybody's always told me to use my inside voice. So when I'm texting something, I want you to really convey the level of me speaking to you, and the exclamation mark pays it off.
It's yours is more about volume than intensity, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's taken as intensity a lot. Like, don't you intensely tell me about my price increase?
I'm going down our agenda for today, and I'm going to check off exclamation points. We've got that covered.
Check. Good job. Good job, Tom. Good job. So we should probably, even though we know everybody, it's really easy for us to just start talking, but we should probably have you all introduce yourselves real quick.
Do you want to do that before I start selling stuff, or
Yes.
we can? Okay. We'll do that.
Yeah. Just say hi. Heather, you want to start us off?
Absolutely. Always go first. My name is Heather Canning, and I own a little business called One Organized Mom over on this side. I'm down in Jupiter, Florida, near West Palm, and I have been in business almost 15 years.
All right. And RJ.
Hi, Liz. Hi, Tom. Hi, everybody. RJ Patel. I'm in the Atlanta, Georgia area, town called Kennesaw, Georgia. I have been in business about just over 21 years.
Nice.
Whoever starts determines what everybody's going to talk about, right? So that's the good thing about
I'm
going
just
first.
following Heather's lead.
Right. It works too. Have you lost weight, RJ?
25 pounds.
Nice.
Like
Congrats.
you usually can't really see it that much in a face, but I could see it in yours kind of easily. It's like, congratulations. Were you trying to lose weight, I hope?
Yeah. I want to play soccer. I just turned 60 in January, and I'm like, I want to keep playing till I'm 62.
Not.
That was my motivation.
Why 62?
So I can get Social Security and everything start rolling in.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know how soccer and Social Security, but all
That
right.
that response was equal to Heather's exclamation point.
Yeah. All right. Everybody gets theirs. All right, TC, you ready to tell us
Yep.
your funky info?
So I'm Patricia Corpus Myers. I go by TC, Trisha, whatever you want to call me, except Pat. Don't call me Pat. And I own Miley Clean out in Kansas City, Missouri.
All
Been in
right.
business for, I think, 16 years. I think we're going on 17 years now.
All right. Been around a while.
So TC, you're like, this is your first time on Smart Business Moves, isn't it?
I think
Oh, is
so.
it?
It is.
It is.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Welcome.
Yeah.
We've been
Thank
doing this for a while, but I could like give you the name of every guest we've ever had, but we don't have time for that.
Actually, you really are good at that, Tom. Yeah. Like people
Well, I
want
can tell you where they live.
Oh my gosh, don't even get me started with that. He really can, y'all. He can tell you where every single person lives. That makes me insane. I
That's
can't
really
even tell you. I barely can remember where I live.
That's how I am too.
Yeah, awful. All right, so y'all, I love today's topic. What'd you have, RJ? You were going to say something.
No, I was just going to say, aren't you going to initiate her like you did Heather and I a while back?
Oh,
What did we do? How did we initiate you? I don't remember.
Just make something up.
Oh, so you really what we kind of do with brand new people is we ask, what's something cool, different, unique about you that people might not know?
Or, what's your favorite Disney princess and why in 25 words or less?
Patricia, there's so much about you that people don't know. You can pick something so easy.
I know. I've got like 5 things popped into my head.
I'm one of 14 kids. I'm married to an ex-Major League Baseball player. I love crafts. And Jasmine is my favorite Disney princess, which is why I named my daughter Jasmine.
I thought you were going to say Jasmine is my favorite child. I was like, whoa.
She'd love to hear that. She would love to hear that. She thinks she is.
Yeah.
Can I just say something about Patricia? I actually met her many years ago, and we actually really became close friends over arts and crafts. She spent how many hours on the phone with me? 3 hours trying to explain to me how to use the Cricut, right? Was it the Cricut?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Hold it, Tom. He's like, not Cricut again. We talked about Cricut.
We talked about that yesterday for a good while.
Yeah.
And the Foundations of Success series. And Liz makes name tags or stickers.
Stickers.
Yeah.
Yeah, stickers and people.
And gives them away as gifts to customers for filling out survey forms.
Not as gifts, as tokens.
Tokens.
As gifts. Oh, here's your gift. Open it. Unwrap your gift. No. It's people like their name, Tom. And haven't you read? Oh gosh, no, I can't remember. What's the name of the book, y'all? Y'all should know. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Right? He says. Yeah, he says.
I've got another book.
Oh, I'm curious about that one too, though. But he says that the number one word in any language is a person's own name. To them, most important word in any language.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, see if you're gonna make a sticker, Tom. The name is good.
I don't know what my number 2 favorite word is. So,
Probably Janice.
Could be.
That's what I would go with if I were you.
Yeah, that's good. Absolutely is.
Yeah. There you go. Much better answer, Tom.
I think it'll keep you alive, Tom, if you go with that name. You probably should go with Janice.
Oh, are you kidding me? She's so chill. I mean, you don't want to get on the other side of her, I would imagine. I hear she's really good with a handgun, but I think he's safe still. I think Tom's safe. But Janice really does love to shoot, doesn't she, Tom?
She's been known to.
The way you say it.
She hasn't hit me yet. How about that?
That doesn't sound good. Oh, hey, Denise. And Giftology also says that? Or was that one of the ideas in Giftology? Is that where I got that, Don? I might have gotten that out of Giftology, Tom. That idea. All right. So there you go, Tom.
So what do we have going on here? We got some things going on. I'm at coreprofitbuilders.com events May, and I'll take this and I'll drop this in chat. So it's easily accessed. We'll start August 14. We have a one-day event on artificial intelligence. It's the MaidCentral team's presenting. We're doing this in Detroit at Lisa Shaw's office, and it doesn't really have anything directly related to MaidCentral, but it's just a long list of AI tools you can use to develop marketing material, sales material, help with customer support. At the end, you get to build your own bot, which is kind of cool. And we did it in Chicago back in June, and it was well received. Hey, RJ, you're nodding your head. You were with us in Chicago, weren't you?
I was, and Tom, I was blown away because Alvin, such an expert on this area.
Oh yeah.
The things that AI can help us do was amazing. The thing that I took away from that is I can take my written training manual and I don't remember which AI tool, but I can put all that written information into the tool and it will spit out a video.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Wow.
things like this were just mind-boggling to me. Like, what are some of the other capabilities? We don't know. And you have to go and listen to this and understand that what's out there and what's available. These are
I'm so
tools to the
excited.
trade.
Okay, so y'all listen to this. This is crazy. So y'all know that Martha Woodward's house burned down, right?
Mhm.
So one of the kind of cool things that AI can do, it's really a hassle when your house burns down, unless they declared a total loss and they cut you one check. You kind of have to go in and say how much value everything had in your house. Listen to this, y'all. You can take pictures like of your house. So on Martha's Facebook page, she takes a lot of pictures of her house over Christmas. She decorates all the different rooms. You can take a picture, stick it in AI, give the address of the house, and say how much is, please evaluate and give the valuation of everything in this room. It tells you the name brand, how much it would cost to replace it used,
Wow.
what the brand new price would be to replace it. I'm like, what? It did everything. For this address, it said the number of dishes, and it was crazy. It was crazy. And just taking the pictures out of Facebook, right?
And Liz, one of the young ladies in Gosha's office, we were doing her strategic planning or 6-month review.
Yeah.
And we wrote on the big 3M paper, peeled it, put it on the wall.
Yeah.
She took pictures of that, put it in Chat GPT, and then provided the exact instructions of what she wants and said, turn this into a Google Doc. And it did. You don't have to type everything. It did it for you.
I think it's so funny whenever we're talking about AI, it always sounds like, and it did.
Yeah.
Like,
Here's the problem. We're going to become absolutely stupid. Think about like before spell check came along, right? We couldn't spell anything. You put in spell check. Oh my gosh, this is a miracle. And now nobody can spell. I mean, can you like fast forward 10, 15, 20 years from now? We're going to be even more stupid. We're not going to know how to do anything.
not nobody, Heather. Some of us can spell all sorts of stuff.
I'm
I'm just giving an example because I'm a bad speller. That's what came to me immediately. But I'm just saying, like, I mean, it's such an amazing tool for us to use in our businesses. Like, I get that, but like long-term effects, like it's gonna be crazy.
It is weird. We don't think as deeply, right? Like the first thing that pops into my head, instead of thinking hard or deeply, I'm like, what could chat do? Chat could start this at least. I see your point. Yeah. I really, or I think to myself, oh man, I don't know. I'm going to ask Tom. Hey, Tom, you got an AI tool that could maybe help with this?
If you're not using AI in some form or fashion on a daily basis, you're working harder than you need to.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wonder though, on the other end of that spectrum though, if you think about anytime you had like a writing project or a presentation or whatever it is you're working on, right? You took hours to just get the inspiration to try to do this. Now you come up with it very easily because you want to throw it into chat. So, I mean, essentially you're still having to think about what you want to ask it to create it. So we're doing it much faster.
It's making it more productive.
Much more productive. Yeah.
Incredibly productive. Yes.
Yeah. Crazy.
So if you're not using it and if you're not getting your leadership team to use it, you're at a disadvantage because your competitors are using it and you're at a disadvantage. You need to.
And if your competitors aren't using it, then you're at an even more exponential advantage because you are, right? So this,
I have to tell you, we do a lot of videos in our company. We have a videographer like kind of like on staff. So we are able to crank out a lot of videos. And I had to write the scripts for these videos and I had like 3 days to do 12. I was so blocked. I went ChatGPT. It wrote the script. Who says what? Who interjects? Everything absolutely amazing.
So nice. So
Mm.
crazy. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm super excited about that event, Tom.
And it's August 14th, Lisa's office in Rochester Hills. It's outside of Detroit. And following that, you're going to be doing a workshop, are you not, Liz?
Yep, sure are. A client nurture workshop. This client nurture program will, you'll walk away with a 5-year nurture program pretty much built out. Now, you're still going to have to put it into Go High Level or Keep or wherever, but we'll be working a lot on the psychology of the different ways to get through this program and all the different things that need to be done so that you don't have to be nurturing your clients. Also, I know that we have a lot of Circle members that watch this podcast or listen to the podcast. Keep in mind that if you're going, you get a 20% discount, or 25 if you're in Mastery, I think. And yeah, so use your discount if you're going. All righty.
And while we're here, we've got what's happening here in Kennesaw, Georgia in October.
We haven't even told anybody about this yet. Planning, goal setting.
It's on the internet.
Yeah. Chat wrote it for us, right?
Yeah.
So 5 of us, RJ, Tom, Gosha, Megan, and myself will be getting together. We haven't even chatted deeply yet. We have our first big meeting on Friday about this. But we are designing a goal setting budget workshop. So we'll have more detail to follow. If you click on that link, you don't see a whole heck of a lot.
We'll be hanging out with RJ and his team, and it's going to be awesome.
RJ, I have never been. It's just so weird to me when we were talking about this. I've never been to your business. I cannot wait. So I've been to Gosha's multiple times, but
Yes,
yeah.
I'm looking forward to hosting you all.
Yes, I'm super excited to go there.
We're doing an MCA live in Charleston, September 25 through 27. If you've never done that before, and especially if you're a MaidCentral partner, it's something you want to do. I
think I'm doing lead and manage by the numbers.
You are following us, right? Where?
Yeah, I don't see it on here though.
Oh, you are. Yeah, you're going to be in Charleston that week too. So you want to spend the whole week with us in Charleston.
Oh, I'm before you, it looks like.
Yep.
That's why. All right. Okay, so can we move on to our actual topic?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So I love this topic. For those of you that don't know, we all do some level of coaching, consulting, something in some areas. So I see a lot that we get confusion over. People don't know what's right for them. Do they need a coach? Do they need a consultant? Do they need a mentor? Should they join a mastermind? What are all of these different things? What are the different benefits? And so I thought, bring us all together and talk a little bit about what some of these things are and who might want to do. I don't know what's the right word I want. Do is not the right word.
If you're looking to up your game, improve your business, improve your performance as a business leader, there's a lot of resources out there. Knowing what your options are and what they do, I think is important. I know a lot of people use coach and consultant and mentor interchangeably, but they are different things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the definition that we're kind of going with here, kind of more Websterish, Oxford Dictionary. Coach is coaching people to bring out the best in them, so helping them be their best selves. Where the consultant is having a lot more of the answers that you might want or need. And a mentor is somebody that works with you and helps you get to where you want to be. And typically, mentors are not paid, but I have heard of mentors just recently So they're more not like they don't have a bill that they give you, but there is like they might receive money from someone for mentorship. And I was like, oh, interesting. And then Mastermind is more of a group of people all coming together and sharing ideas and kind of building on that. Does that sit in alignment with everybody here?
Yes.
I'll go with that.
Mhm.
All right. So I thought we could talk a little bit about each one of these and, you know, when somebody might be looking for a coach, like who might be looking for a coach? When might they need a coach? What criteria might they look at? What situation might they be in their business that would make them really need a coach versus a consultant, a mentor, or a mastermind?
Or maybe you aren't looking, but you should be.
Liz, if I can interject, when you mentioned this topic, I started thinking, when we're born, from that moment forwards, right, we have a mentor in our parents, in our siblings, if we have them, or family, right?
Yeah.
People are guiding us constantly.
Yeah.
When we go to school, we have teachers, right?
Yeah.
Again, people that are coaching us, mentoring us. If we play sports, we have a coach, somebody guiding us again. When we get out into the adult world, whether it's in business like we all are, why do we feel we don't need that guidance still?
Well, obviously the 5 of us are not the right people to be asking, because I'm pretty sure every single one of us has a coach, a consultant, a mentor, and probably a part of a mastermind, right? Because we recognize the value, but a lot of people don't.
I think, oh, go ahead, Heather.
I think that a lot of people don't realize the difference. I know for many years, I didn't understand the difference. I mean, for me and my business as a leader, I don't want somebody to come in here and tell me what to do, because I want to do it myself. So then knowing the difference between a coach and a consultant is a big deal. And then I know which one I want, versus having a mastermind group, everybody sharing with me like what they do. And then I take away those ideas and spin them into mine. I think a lot of people struggle with that.
100% agree, Heather.
I think another reason some people don't is because they've been burnt, or they know other people that have been burnt. So there's a bad, juju in terms of like what coaches are, what masterminds are, and whether there's any value, right? Because a lot of times they don't explore and make sure of who they're choosing. They just go choose, and then they get burnt.
Well, I think that's a bad term, though, too, to be burnt, because people expect, to hire whoever they're going to hire, and they're going to give them all the answers for all the things that they seek out. And it doesn't work like that. Like, you have to apply the work. You have to do the things. So if you don't get a return on the money that you invested on whatever avenue, people often will refer to it as, they didn't do their job.
Oh my gosh. This is a consultant's number one complaint, right? A consultant says, you came to me, you wanted answers. I gave you the answers, told you what to do. You didn't do it. And now you're upset. Oh, frustrating. A lot of people who would consider maybe being a coach, a consultant, a mentor, shy heavily away from consulting, especially because of that. Can't stand telling people what to do. They ask me.
Liz, you sound really muffly. I don't know if anybody else is experiencing that.
Your sound just kind of dropped out there a little bit, Liz.
I do. Any
No,
better?
You fixed it.
All right. Just need to bring it down a little, huh?
Yeah.
Could have my gain too, maybe jacked up a little.
It's kind of like that Peloton or Bowflex that winds up sitting in the garage that you're not really doing anything with. And it's not that the equipment is bad, you just aren't using it.
Correct.
Yeah. Also, to TC's point of, they feel like they got burnt. If you should be in a mastermind, but you hired a consultant, you might feel like you got burnt, because you might feel like you got burnt if you need to hammer a nail and you go and buy a wrench.
Yeah.
It's not the store's fault that you bought the wrench. Should have bought a hammer, right? So that can happen easily too. So Denise making a good point here. At different stages of a business, there may be different coaches to help them more from that spot.
Yes.
Totally agree with that as well. who has some perspectives on this that they'd like to share about specifically about coaching, maybe? Heather and TC, you are both new coaches, fairly new paid coaches. Do you want to share a little bit about what you do, who you're kind of helping, who you think makes a good customer for you?
TC, you want to go first? You want me to?
You go first. You're good.
I'll always go first. I always want to get it over with. For me, I get very frustrated with people who don't want to do the work. Going through this journey, and for me, I always thought it was about giving people like what worked for me or telling people what to do. And it's not about that. It's what Liz said earlier. It's about getting them to be, for them to be the best version of themselves, to come up with the ideas and help to get them to that avenue. I get very frustrated when, I sit and I talk to people and they still don't want to do the work. I've been with Liz and Tom for many years, I think since 2018, I guess it's not that long. But over those years, like Liz has said so many times, like that one thing to me, and it took me like 20 times to hear it for it to be like, oh, now I get it. But I just wasn't ready to hear it. I wasn't ready to do it until that 20th time. And now it's like such an eye-opening thing to me, because like, why did I waste so much time fighting the process?
And we don't think we're fighting the process most of the time, right? Most of the people that we're working with as coaches. Tom, you do some coaching, a little bit of coaching, right?
Not so much anymore. Used to.
Internal used to do quite a bit of coaching.
Oh, well, some degree. You're running a business. You're CEO. You're doing coaching for your own team, if nothing else, right?
Yeah. Not everybody does, though, right? So you do believe in coaching and helping people to be their better selves. I know, RJ, you do. You've coached me quite a bit and been a boon to me in many, many ways. TC, you love coaching.
We're losing you again, Liz.
Oh, I wonder why.
I don't know. Now you're sounding better if you get right on it.
It's when you go this way. Well, not this way. This way. I don't know.
Right.
I
wonder if it needs to be higher.
Maybe.
I don't think it has anything to do with it, because it wasn't moved. You just kind of went in and out for no reason.
Well, we'll see if this is any better. Any better?
Yeah.
I changed the gain just a little bit too, so we'll see.
To Heather's point, there are people that know that they need help, but I'm not sure they know exactly what they need. And I know that's the coach's job to figure out, right? I was a soccer coach for 25 years, and my job was to figure out, how can I help this child, right? Yeah. Is it the technical skills? Is it the tactical side? I have to do that. But is that person, is that business owner, is that kid willing to be held accountable? A kid is, because it equals playing time or bench time, so they can see the backside of me, right?
Yeah.
It's their choice. But with business owners, how do you hold somebody accountable? How do you, quote, yell at them? How do you punish them, right? Are these people willing to be held accountable? Why did you hire the coach?
Yeah.
They need to figure that out first.
Yeah. And they need to have a certain level of discipline, right? Because if they don't have the discipline to do the things that they're being coached on, they're going to struggle. They're going to be, in TC's terms, right? They're going to feel burnt, right? Like, because they didn't do the things. They didn't have the discipline to do it. It's
right.
Very common. Very, very, very common.
Isn't that really just a very significant part of it? It's not, I mean, occasionally a coach will point out things that you didn't know, but more times than not, they're just holding you accountable to do things that you know that you should be doing. You just don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't that why you got the coach?
Yeah.
Habits are hard to break.
Ah, gosh.
Right.
And mindsets too.
You know how often somebody will sign up with a coach that they aren't really ready to change.
Yeah.
So they don't want to change things that they need to change. I want to lose weight, but I want to continue to eat what I want to eat, and I don't want to exercise. So I'm going to hire a coach to help me lose weight. But don't ask me to, modify my
Change anything.
behavior. Yeah.
Yeah. Not change anything though. Just you're the coach. Melt the fat off me.
Yeah.
While I'm eating my donuts over here.
It's kind of like quitting smoking. I mean, I used to be a smoker many, many, many years ago, like a lot of years ago. And I tried quitting so many times, right? You don't quit until you are like 100% in ready to quit, because you will always fail. And it's the same as losing weight.
All right. So let's use that example here. So let's say you want to quit smoking. Who do you think would be a better option for the person who wants to quit smoking? Would they be better off hiring a coach, hiring a consultant, getting a mentor, or joining a mastermind? What do y'all
I'd say mastermind or a mentor.
Yeah. Well, tell us why, Heather. What you're thinking?
Somebody, for me, a mentor is somebody who's been down the road a long time ago, and like how they got over the hill. And I would relate to that, I think, a little bit more than somebody telling me you need to do this and you need to do it this way, just because they were certified to do it.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else think anything different? I'm on the same wavelength as you, Heather. Right. I think a mentor might be good. Also, a mastermind of people that all want to, kind of having a group of people that all want to quit smoking. A lot of times that competition can kick in.
Like a support group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That mastermind is going to expect you to report every week or how often you meet. You don't want to get in front of your mastermind group and admit that you are smoking again.
Yeah.
A coach would kind of fill that role as well, I believe.
Yeah, I think a coach could help you get there if you're ready, right? Again, but couldn't we say the same thing about a mentor or being in a mastermind, right? Mm-hmm. I think that the mastermind might get you to a different mindset more quickly, maybe. I don't know. I have never seen a non-smoking coach. Sorry, TC.
No, it's okay. I think it's really dependent upon what motivates you, right? You're going to be in a mastermind and you're going to see other people's success and you're going to be like, oh, I can't get there. If it's not going to motivate you, then it's not going to be a good choice for you. It doesn't matter. But if you're competitive and you're like, oh, I want to get in here and I want to, I do want this change. I think it depends on how you're motivated. Same could be said for a coach. I mean, if you're motivated to work with someone and it's the right coach that can help, because I mean, ultimately it's motivating you to want to change your mindset first, because it's always what happens first.
Yeah, coaching for sure is about looking at the coaches looking at who you are and trying to figure out how to use your strengths for your benefit, right? Versus just trying to overcome your weaknesses. Now, obviously, they have to look at your weaknesses, but they're not just saying, hey, do this thing. More a consultant would tell you, do this thing, where a coach would say, this is who you are. How can you use that? How can you be more of who you already are? So I don't know.
To Heather's point about smoking,
mm-hmm.
There's no coach in the world or a mastermind group or a consultant or a mentor that can help Heather quit unless she wanted to.
Absolutely. Until she's ready.
Until she's ready, until she's committed, and she understands all the steps that she's gonna have to take. Until she's ready, none of this is possible.
So the word that I like to use in these scenarios is decide. Until you decide to quit, you're not going to. You could want to quit. You could need to quit. You could, you could tell people you're going to quit, but until you actually decide to quit, it's not happening.
Yep.
You got to make the decision that this is what I'm doing now.
And you know where that decision comes from, Liz?
I'd love it.
I believe there's a pain point that you reach that is so low that you do not want to ever be there again. and you rise from that, and then good things begin to happen. And so in business, same thing. We reach such a low, and I've been there.
Yeah.
Reach a low where you're like, okay, I don't want to quit the cleaning business or whatever business you're in, but I've reached a point of such hardship and pain that I'm going to change this. I'm never going to be in this same situation again.
I think there's both. I think there are people that are motivated by the pain of it. They can't allow themselves to get down there again. But then is that me?
No, it's me.
All right, good. I'm glad it's you. But there's another group of people, or other times, like sometimes I'm motivated by pain, but other times I have to be inspired. I'm drawn toward. I'll make a change for something where the pain of it, I can get kind of comfy in the pain if I'm not careful. It's like,
it is true.
That bad.
That is so true. Like I'm there now with my phone calls, right, Heather? Like
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't want the pain. No, sorry. I'm out.
Yeah. I do see a lot of people that will sit in a bad spot. They'll complain and they'll go on and on about how awful this is. And that it's terrible. Like my life is ending. It's terrible. Well, here are like 20 things you could do. Just pick one. But they can't.
I see that a lot. I see that an awful lot. And it's just like this merry-go-round. And it's like, what you do know the answer, just do it.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Maybe they haven't suffered through enough pain.
So let's talk about consultants now, right? We're talking about coaching, right? So with consultants, I think the best time to hire a consultant is when you really don't know what to do. You're stuck because you've heard all of the things, but you don't know how to move forward. You really don't. And you need someone to give you answers. Typically your coach, who set it up here? Somebody said, Denise, right? Typically your coach isn't going to tell you what to do. They're going to, present you with options that might be good for you. You pick, they're going to support you. They're going to help you get there based on what you want. But a consultant is going to come in and say, listen, here you are, and you need to do this, this, and this in this order to get to the next stage.
I don't even think, Liz, that it's that you don't know what to do. Sometimes when you're not making the decisions, I think it's that too. Like, you know what to do, but you're not doing it. You can hire a consultant who's going to come in and say, this is what needs to happen. Just do it.
Sometimes your consultant will do it for you, right? They'll do a piece of it that you can't
It's
make.
like a managed service. You're outsourcing it. You don't want a consultant to build your website. You want a website developer to do that.
Right.
But
who else? When else? Who else or when else might you hire a consultant? Here's another one for me that I like to work with these people. People that have taken all the classes. They've done all the stuff. They have all the information. They know all of the things, but it's almost like they're spinning in their own juices. They so many ideas. There's 20 different things and they just don't know. They can't choose. They can't move forward. They can't decide, right? They can't make that decision. So I think sometimes a consultant is good for that.
I can share an example. We had reached a point in our business where we were looking at the turn in our clients, and it's like, okay, why do we, take 2 steps forward, sometimes 1 back, sometimes 3 back, and that's when we called upon Sharon Tinberg and said, Sharon, help us. So she's very specific in the training area.
Mm-hmm.
As a consultant, she came in with her expertise in that area of training, right?
Yeah.
Not every aspect of the business, not how to start your day and end your day, but how to clean. Yeah. Very specific. And so we recognized that, and we had to have somebody specific. So when you need an expert in an area of your business,
good.
You need to realize that and go after that person.
Yeah, really good. And especially if it's an area that you're weak in, right? Stop trying to shore yourself up and learn more stuff and do more things and barely get by, because you're still going to be in the same boat a year from now. It's not your strength there.
So,
Oh, I love that one. It's a great example.
And I thought I knew how to clean because I owned a hotel for 27 years before owning a cleaning service. But she came in and just blew my mind. I was like, okay, fine, I get it.
Thanks for that lesson. Now I know the real thing.
So, oftentimes we're looking for different outcomes in our business, and we might not know what to do. And a consultant could be really good at helping you first identify what it is that you're really hoping to get out of your business and make good recommendations based upon data and facts and proven professional management practices in terms of this is what you need to do. And then it's like, well, gee, how do I do that? And a good consultant can help you with the how as well. And okay, I know what to do, I know how to do it, but having the ability to do it, to execute it, sometimes is a different thing as well. And sometimes that's a coach, and sometimes that's a consultant as well. RJ is a soccer coach, and when you're a coach, you're on the sideline, calling plays and sending people on and off the field, but you're not kicking the ball. But some consultants are out there actually, rolling their sleeves up and helping you execute. So there's a lot of variations of that.
Well, and that's it. I used to use my training sessions as a time to step on the field with them, because I knew exactly what you said, Tom. During match day, I can't be on the pitch with them. I have to allow them to do it. And that's how we have to empower our people. Train them, but then empower them to be out there to do an excellent job for the customer. Right? Because you cannot be at every single clean every single day.
No.
And I cannot step on the pitch and say, shoot like this or do that. I can only bark instructions from the sideline.
Yeah. We can bark loud, but you gotta be effective as well. All right. So let's talk about a mentor. Now, RJ, I specifically asked you to be here for the mentor piece because I know you have a lot of experience with mentors, both being and having. Has everybody else here had a mentor, been a mentor? Any of those? Yeah.
The family analogy that RJ shared earlier, I guess we've all had at some level. From a business standpoint, that might be something that we all don't share.
Yeah, very good point. So talk to us a little bit about mentoring, RJ. Like, when might we look for a mentor? Like, who might we look for? How do we do that?
When I was, I'll go back to my real example. When I played college soccer, my college coach, Louis Sistoki, he said, "Hey, Patel," he used to call me by my last name and say, "You're going to coach." And I said, "I don't know what you're talking about. I know how to play for you. I don't know what you're talking about." He chose to mentor me and say, because he must have seen something, and say to me, "I'm going to take you under my wing." Now, obviously, this is not for a fee, right? This is just out of the goodness of his heart because he saw something in me, which I didn't even see. And he says, "You're going to be a coach." And so he brought that out of me. He brought that interest in me and then out of me. So what he did for me, I was able to do for 25 years after for others. And for him just to see that, to realize that was huge for me.
Yeah.
I didn't see that in me. If that makes sense.
Yeah. And a lot of times that will happen. A mentor will approach you and they might not call it mentoring, but they see something in you that they want to be part of. they want to help bring that out, that's where they're getting their pay, right? Of like just being part of your success and helping you be more of who you are. When might I look for a mentor and versus a coach or a consultant, and where might I find one? Typically, mentors are not paid, right? They don't charge you. You might still give them something, but they don't charge
We're losing you
The
again, Liz.
volume is again doing the same thing.
For me, oh my gosh, I hate to admit this, but a long time ago, I had an accountant, and it was probably the first time that I had to go see an accountant at the end of the year. And I said, "Where's the book?" And they're like, "What are you talking about? What book?" I said, "Where's the book that's going to tell me how to do everything for my business?" And the accountant laughed. And he said to me, and I will never forget it. He goes, "Listen, you need to glob onto people that are business owners that you respect, doesn't matter what industry, and hang on to them and learn from them." And that's exactly what I did. I have a very good friend who is a president in a huge company. And I met with him once a year, and we were just really good friends, and we would get together for the weekends, and him and I would carve out a couple hours, and we would go into his office and just sit there and talk shop. He had nothing to do with cleaning, but what he was able to offer me like totally transitioned into my business. My father-in-law, very wise man, I think you guys have probably heard the story before. He told me many years ago too. He's like, "Heather, you're no longer in the cleaning business. You clean houses, but you're in the people business. You have to lead the people." And I thought he was crazy, and then unfortunately he passed away. And then I realized he was so true. Yeah. So people like that, for me, like those are my mentors.
And Heather, these people you find when you network in the community, and you want to obviously latch onto somebody who has recently, like Danette said earlier, it depends where you are, the stages of growth, right? Mm-hmm. And so you don't want somebody who's a multi-billion-dollar and you're a startup. That's a big gap. Try to find somebody who's just a little bit ahead of you, because recently they've been there, done that.
And they remember the struggles along the way.
Yeah. And I made some notes, so I'm reading here. One of the things that a mentor does, right? A mentor helps you develop both personally and professionally by offering wisdom and support.
Nice.
Both, right? Professional and personal, with their wisdom and support.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Wisdom and support. Really good. So how do you find one? Oh, wait, before I ask that question again, I know I've asked that again already a couple times, but Heather, you had said, oh shoot, I lost the thread. Oh well, it'll come back to me. Oh, I know what it was. You had pointed out that your mentors aren't in the cleaning industry, right? So I do think that is really a valuable thing to look at for a lot of people too.
Can you say that again? Because sometimes I think that's not widely understood.
Say it in a different way, Tom. So hit the message again.
No, it's, how many times have we been at a ISSA, trade show convention, and they've got world-class presenters who aren't from the house cleaning industry.
Oh yeah.
So true.
And so many of our cohorts, peers are kind of dismissing it. Well, they don't clean homes. Why do I want to hear what they have to say? And that's where you really learn stuff, because they've been watching different movies. They have different experiences. They can teach you things that you've never been exposed to that can be very useful.
And brand new perspectives that open your mind. So I'm sure, RJ, you remember, Tom, you remember Annie Duke?
Yeah, that was.
Do you remember
that was a missed opportunity by too many people.
Yeah, and there were a lot of people that were irritated by her. I'm like, are y'all kidding? I probably reference some of her thinking at least a few times a year. I was going to say once a month, but at least a few times a year, I think of a message that she passed on. Some kind of
I feel like that's really how I got started in like getting into masterminds, getting coaching was none of them were in the cleaning industry.
Well, your situation's a little different too, because you've been in business a lot longer, and because you guys have had your baseball business, and you've worked as a coach, you've also worked as a consultant, you've also worked as a mentor for a lot longer than a lot of people, and you also have a degree, right? You have a marketing degree, so you have that expertise there to be able to speak to your consultant abilities in a little bit different way than
I think it was though, because it was delayed, right? So we had really good success with the baseball academy.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't need any help, right? It was just, we did well and we understood how to do it. I guess I shouldn't say we didn't have, I think we had mentors, but we didn't start trying to grow the cleaning business till 5 years ago. Was it 5 years, Heather, when we met? How long ago was that? 5, 6?
2018. And can I just go back to say really quick, is it a marketing degree that you have?
It is not.
What is it again? Tell everybody what it is.
I did. So I have a bachelor's in, oh my gosh, I'm going to forget because I really never use it. I have a bachelor's degree. I don't know. I can't remember. And I mastered in business administration. And then I have a minor in marketing.
Oh
so
my
you
God.
have your MBA.
You do have a minor in marketing.
Yeah, I minored in marketing. I love marketing. You know that. I love marketing a lot.
I just had to point that out because I feel like you sell yourself short on that. That's such a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, I do. I don't really bring it up, but yeah, I don't bring it up. I don't use it very often. I don't feel like I throw it around, I should say.
Yeah, maybe not throw it around, but you absolutely use it all the time. It's part of.
But when I do bring it up, I must say that I did not graduate from high school.
I love that even more.
I quit school when I was 16. By the time I tried to go back, I was pregnant with my oldest. So that was done deal.
It's such a different experiences, right?
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. I like that in a mentor personally. I like a mentor that does have different experiences than I have and sees things from a completely different perspective than I see them from. I don't really need somebody to feed me my own ideas. Yeah.
So true.
I got enough of that.
I kind of feel like I do. I don't know if you would call it, but I feel like I mentor a lot of especially the people that come through the circles, when they need help or even spend a lot of time of it's technology or it's, trying to figure out how to get their core KPIs. It's those kind of things. I'll spend time with them trying to figure out how to get out of the valley.
All right. So I'm going to go back to my question again. So how do you find a mentor? So you're thinking, okay, I think what I need is a mentor. I kind of know the stuff. I don't need somebody to tell me exactly what to do. But I just need somebody to sort of guide me. What were the 2 words? Something and support? Wisdom and support.
Wisdom
and support.
Right? I need wisdom and support.
I really think people in your immediate community where you can network, whether it's a chamber or business associations or some of the smaller groups that are, specific like BNIs and stuff, they have some very, very smart people in those groups. And you can find those people that you can relate to personality wise, and just go ask them if they can be a mentor to you. That's a good place to start because it's local. They understand the local economic environment. They know people, and they can support you.
There used to be a group too, and I had to ask my husband. I can't remember the name of it, and I never used it, and I really wanted to. It was retired gentlemen mostly out of bigger corporations, and they would volunteer their time. Score.
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
Small business
administration. I think that they volunteer their time. I don't think that it's paid either. No. So that's another avenue that if you don't know anybody or to be able to get you somewhere.
There's two other recommendations I have for you. I used to certify minority and women-owned businesses to do business with the city of Kansas City. And I don't know if every city has that program, but I know Kansas City specifically would have, I don't know what it was called, but it was a business side. It wasn't SBA, but it was something that Kansas City built. And there was mentors that ran through there. Like you could find co-working share space there. You could do things like they had education and they had mentors. And then the other thing is my co-working share space that I use for my virtual address, because we don't have an office, they have a mentorship program through there. So some of those co-working share spaces or whatever they're called.
TC, it's the SBDC, Small Business Development Center.
Mhm.
Not most universities, some universities have that, and that is a free program.
Okay. I didn't remember what it was called, but I remember that we would recommend a lot of our minority and women-owned businesses to go through that.
So sad. Like, just think about like all of these ideas that we were able to throw together in a very short period of time, and how few people actually know that they even exist or will do the work to go seek the help.
Yeah. There's a ton of it out there.
Would it be fair to say that trade associations like ISSA Residential is a resource for coaching, consulting, and mentoring?
Absolutely. And also masterminding. We haven't really even spoken a lot about masterminding, but I think ISSA is a great sort. Most of us probably was one of the favorite things that we learned from our first convention, or not learned, but one of the favorite things that we did at our first convention was the masterminding. You all remember, I know at least a couple of you have been on the board for a while, and I remember that's one of the hot topics that we would talk about on the board is people want a mastermind. You know, they always want more masterminding. So creating those opportunities.
Roundtables.
Yeah,
Love the roundtables.
Really, Trotter? Everybody does. Yeah.
And Tom, to your point, you can use the SCORE or SBDC for the general overall how to operate a business, P&L, how to read one, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But then when you get to the specific, that's when you use your ISSA residential to dive into your specific business. You have the overall business, but then your specific business come to trade associations like ISSA.
I do know, like, too, that builders associations, they also have like little programs you can go through that are free. I remember I did a construction, how to do post-construction or something. I can't remember what it was, but.
Okay.
So many different. So I guess that's the overarching idea is you don't have to do it alone. Go out there, and whether it's a coach, a consultant, a mentor, or a mastermind, get connected. You're going to do more with people than you are going it on your own. You're going to have more success working with other people. Hey, Tom, can you share, RJ, do you have coaching CVC maybe website or SVC? No. Well, Tom, why don't you pull up, if you would, Core Profit Builders and go to the coaching website for anybody that is, or go up to coaching up at the top. And if you are looking for a coach or you're looking for a consultant, you can find a few of them here that might be a good match for you. We've got Candace, who is excellent at coaching managers. She's been a manager for a large part of her life, and she's excellent at that. We have Rosie, who is also a core coach, and she is I already got TC's pedigree wrong. Anybody want to help me get Rosie's? Licensed?
She's a licensed something. I don't remember.
Psychologist?
Therapist?
I don't know. I wanted to say psychologist, but it could be therapist. I'm not sure. And then we got TC, we've been talking about. We got Heather, and then we also have Lizzie. So, and Lizzie is really good as a consultant, very good at helping you get your ducks in a row and, tell you exactly what to do and make it nice and streamlined. So some ideas. Don't be out there by yourself. Get yourself a little bit of help there.
I think it's
And
Don't
important.
wait until you're desperate either.
No.
no,
In that pain
Right.
point.
Yeah, don't wait until you don't have any money and now you're like, right?
I think that's a good point to end on, is that's really understanding that if you're going to pay for something, to understand that it's an investment. Like it's going to come back to you twofold, threefold, as long as you're ready to do the work.
Yeah.
and you know
Listen,
what?
it's you. It's an investment in you, right?
Yeah.
Where did the hour go? We are at the top of the hour. Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
It went fast.
This is a great group.
Yeah.
TC, RJ, Heather, thank you all for joining us. Come see us in August in Detroit, or September in
Rochester.
Charleston, or down at RJ's in Atlanta in October. We're going to be all over the place.
Before we leave, can we do like one of those like Brady Bunch things? Like, hey down there, RJ, Patricia. Hey Liz. Hey Tom.
It's so funny. Hi, Heather.
Okay.
It's so funny, Heather.
That means we need a
we're
song,
missing-
Tom.
Yeah, we only have 5. We need 9.
Yeah, we'll
But we
work
need
on
a
that for
song.
next time.
The other 4 are like eating snacks.
Yeah.
Tom, go have AI create us a song for this, so that now you can do this every time.
We've done that before. We can
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, we
So-
have.
Here's a
I know, I
story of lovely lady.
We are going to call this a wrap, but we will be back next Wednesday at 5 o'clock Eastern. Have a great week. Thanks.
Everybody,
Bye.
bye, y'all.